Hey guys, this is Hunter with You Don't Know Ball. Today I'm going to be grading all the head coaching hires that happened this hiring cycle. As always, if you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. We bring you guys daily content. Leave a like. Let me know your favorite head coaching hire in the comments. I'm going to give every team a grade, but before I do that, I'm going to go into an explanation on kind of why I believe they deserve that grade. So, starting off, I have some notes here that I'm just going to be reading off. We're going to go with the Commanders hiring Dan Quinn. So, the Commanders got their new head coach in Dan Quinn, and it seemed to really be like their third option. It seemed like they were really targeting Ben Johnson and Mike McDonald, and it seems like they were kind of stolen away from the Commanders. And in both reports, obviously there were reports that Ben Johnson wanted too much money, but at the same time, I heard similar reports that Mike McDonald got paid more money to go to Seattle. And in both those reports, it seems like both head coaches wanted more money than the Commanders were willing to offer. And it's obvious that they wanted to go kind of with a younger head coach profile. And Dan Quinn is about 16 years older than both of them. And I don't think necessarily that Dan Quinn is a bad hire. I just think new ownership and GM lost out on candidates because they were putting all their eggs in like the Ben Johnson basket. I think Ben Johnson was the Commanders' number one guy. And, reports come out that, Johnson didn't interview well, wanted too much money. But at the end of the day, as soon as Ben Johnson withdrew his name, they moved very quickly. And my thing is, I question the validity of the Aaron Glenn interviews. I don't really know where I saw anything else regarding Aaron Glenn being interviewed. And Breer did mention that Washington was committed to seeing this interview process all the way through, obviously resulting in losing some candidates. And Quinn had connections to their new GM, Adam Peters, because he was with Kyle Shanahan, obviously, and Shanahan was with Quinn in Atlanta when they, went to the Super Bowl. So apparently, his references were super good. He really did well on his interview, and that is how Dan Quinn ended up getting the job. So this is what I will say about Dan Quinn being the hire for the Commanders is he is definitely going to bring culture and identity to a Commanders team that has really struggled to be anything of substance since 2012 when they went 10-6. And the last time that they were over 500 was in 2016, thanks to a tie. I believe they were 8-7-1. So they haven't made it past the first round of the playoffs in almost 20 years, and two team name changes. And this happened in 2005 when they made it to the divisional round. I don't think this is the worst case scenario for the Commanders. It's obviously not the best. Honestly, Cliff Kingsbury being the hire for the OC was kind of their saving grace, in my opinion, because if you're going to get a rookie quarterback, I don't necessarily know if hiring Chip Kelly, kind of an older mind, would have been the best option after hiring Dan Quinn, who is 53. Obviously, with the way that the league is moving, they want to go towards a younger mindset when it comes to offensive head coaches and quarterbacks, and having Chip Kelly along with Dan Quinn doesn't really fit that. So this grade that I'm going to give the coaching hire is less indicative of who Dan Quinn is as a coach and what he's going to be able to do with the team, and more of the whole process that the Commanders went through. I just think they went really slowly. They didn't really move with urgency, and in that case, they lost probably some of their top guys, regardless of how Dan Quinn interviewed. And, regardless of your feeling of how Kingsbury is, he does meld with a rookie QB mindset better than it would have been with Quinn and Chip Kelly. So with that being said, I am going to give the Commanders a C++ because I don't want to it's so close to a B- hire, but it's just like, to me, it's not there yet. And this hire feels like a high floor, right? Like, regardless of if the Commanders are competing for one of those top spots in the NFC in the next 2 years, it does feel like they're not going to be at the bottom of the league, especially in the NFC, in a weak NFC. So going on next to the